Hello and welcome to this new part of abstract data type. In this portion we are going to discuss about ADT or an abstract data type. The name itself is a self-explanatory part. But before going on to this discussion, let us just revise what we have seen in previous portion. In previous few portions we have seen about the data, the processed form of data which we usually call as an information, and the further processing of data and information for generation of knowledge through intelligence. We have seen all these things in previous part. In previous part we have also discussed something about what exactly data types are, how data types are implemented in basic C, what does data type actually tells you, and why do we require data types. We further continued with our discussion in previous portion with definition of data structures. A data structure is nothing but an organization, logical organization of your data for effective data retrieval, that we have seen in previous part. We have also seen what are the permissible operations or what are the total set of operation which we are going to study for each and every data structure throughout the complete course, that is creation, insertion, deletion, manipulation, updation and traversal. Apart from that, in previous class we have seen examples, classification and examples of various different data structures as well. We know that a data structure is divided in primitive and non-primitive data structures, that is two broad categories. In non-primitive data structures we have again two broad categories, by linear and non-linear data structures, and in further discussion in previous class we discussed the basic implementation, a graphical representation of a basic implementation of arrays, linked list, stacks, queues, trees, graphs and skip list. So this was the portion we have discussed in our previous session. So let us just revise that thing first, and then we are now today moving on to the new topic, that is ADT, that is abstract data type. The term ADT or an abstract data type is itself a self-explanatory. It consists of three different words, extremely simple words: abstract, data and type. Out of these three we know about the last two, that is data type. We know what exactly data types are, what exactly data type does, and what exactly data type tells you about. We know that data type tells you about three things. First, the actual nature or characteristic of data which it supports. Second, the size of data which it supports or which it stores, that is the range of the data which is used in programming. And the last, permissible operations performed on data. So any data type tells you about these three things. So whether those are primitive data type or whether they are non-primitive or user defined data type, for every data type we have to define all these three things. Now what exactly do you mean by an abstract? Abstract is something which is not complete. So let me give you a very simple example, extremely simple to understand. Most of us have an habit of reading newspapers. In most of the newspaper, a section called movie review is there. In that movie review section, in 20 to 25 lines with a photograph, or a photograph is seldom given, in 20 to 25 lines, a complete summary of each movie is given, that what is the plot of movie, what exactly a hero does in that movie, what is the actual twist which you can expect in a movie, then what will be a flow of movie, whether there is a sequel or not, or whether it is a sci-fi movie or a romantic movie or an action movie. All those things about a movie, including just a brief idea about its plot or a story, is given in 20 to 25 lines in a newspaper. Frankly speaking, those 20 to 25 lines are not actual script of movie, correct? The actual script of movie might be quite bigger, but after reading those 20 to 25 lines we get a complete idea, a thorough grasp over a concept of what exactly movie is, what we are going to accept from that movie, what is the star cast, and what exactly is the theme of movie, or what is the pattern in which the movie is propagating. So just by reading all those 20-25 lines we get a complete idea, complete grasp of the movie, correct? That 20-25 lines are called as summary of movie. It is not a complete movie, but it tells you something about that movie which helps you to understand about the movie, correct? Abstraction is a term which is similar to the summary. What is an abstraction? Abstraction means something which is not complete. Abstract means something which is not complete. So what does exactly abstraction do? Abstraction allows us to consider high level characteristics of something without getting bogged down to its detail. That means we get an idea by reading an abstraction, we get an idea by seeing an abstraction, but we don't get the actual implementation details out of it. That is what we mean by abstraction. Now, how does this abstraction along with your data type creates ADT? Now, let us just discuss this thing in detail. Let us simply see that ADT or an abstract data type refers to a set of data values and associated operations that are specified independent of its implementation. In other words, if we are creating a user defined data type, if we are going to create a new data type which is not at all present in current C programming, then what exactly I need to tell you about? See, we are creating a new data type. That simply means I have to tell you about three things. First, the architecture or nature of data it supports. Second, the range of data it holds. And third, the permissible operations on those data. So if I could define these three things for a user defined data type, then I can say that I have created a new data type in a C. Correct? Now, just for the example, we all know that what exactly rational numbers are. Rational numbers are those numbers which are of the form a by b, or a numerator divided by denominator. A natural number has two parts. First part is called as a numerator and second part is called as a denominator. Specifically, in most of the cases, they are separated by a slash or a division value. The first portion before the slash is called as a numerator, another portion is called as a denominator. So, frankly speaking, there is no data type present in C programming to process with or to work with rational numbers. You cannot define a rational number in C directly, correct? Just like we can declare an integer or a float or any other data type or variable, we cannot declare a rational number. So, does that mean we cannot process rational numbers in C? No, that is not the case. So, to process rational numbers in C, I am proposing a new way, or I am proposing a new idea of creating a new data type by the name rational number. And if I want to create a new data type rational number, then what should I do? If I am creating a new data type, I should tell you about the nature of data it is going to support, the range of data it is going to support, and permissible operations it is going to support. So if I could define these three things for a new data type, then I could say that I have created a new data type called rational numbers in C. Now, where does ADT comes in picture? ADT comes in picture with abstraction as a term. What is abstraction? It gives you an idea of something without giving its further details or implementational details. So ADT refers to a set of data values and associated operations, of course, which are required in definition of data types, that are specified independent of implementation. That means we are not going to discuss anything about the implementation of data type. We are simply giving the representation of data type. And what does that representation tells you? That representation tells you about the nature of data and associated operations. This set of data values and associated operations is called as an ADT. Correct? I hope the definition is clear. The definition will get perfectly clear only after we see how exactly that thing is implemented in a C program. Let us just continue our discussion. There is a second point given which says encapsulation of data and operation. What exactly you mean by an encapsulation? I hope everybody knows what exactly you mean by an encapsulation. Encapsulation means bundling up or wrapping up something. So now what exactly we are wrapping up as a unit, as a package? We are wrapping up two things, data and its operations, correct? So if we could give a bundle of data and operation, we say that it is an encapsulation of it, correct? So what is an ADT? ADT is nothing but an encapsulation of data and their operations, as simple as that. Now what does abstraction tells you? Abstraction tells you that you are going to provide something which gives you a complete idea about it, but you are not allowed to see its implementational details, correct? Just like a movie review gives you a complete idea about that movie, a plot about that movie, but how that plot goes actually, or how that story unfolds, that is not discussed in summary, and that you have to see only by going to theaters or only by watching that movie you can understand that, correct? So likewise, the abstraction term tells you about what exactly that is, and it hides how that thing is done. So that is the thing which I have written over there, what is known but how is hidden. I hope you are getting this part. And what does an ADT is comprising of? An ADT is comprised of three things, that is declaration of data, declaration of operation, and then encapsulation of data and operations. So let us just try to understand this concept with an example. This ADT can be implemented in various different aspects. You can have a rational number as an example, you can have a complex number as an example. Frankly speaking, you can write ADT for each and every data structure. You can write ADT for linked list, you can write ADT for tree, you can write ADT for graph. What exactly is ADT? ADT is nothing but a encapsulation or a bundle of data values and operations. What is a tree? Tree is simply a representation or an organization of some data values with some permissible operations. Of course, a discipline is involved over there. Based on that discipline, we are going to perform some permissible operations, nothing else. So for every data structure, we are going to write ADT for that data structure. So that is the reason study and understanding of ADT becomes important if you are learning data structure. ADT is extremely simple if we discuss this thing through an example. Now let us just see how ADT can be created. Let us simply take an example of rational numbers. But before taking an example of rational numbers, let us just see how a graphical representation of an ADT is looks like. So this will clear out your ideas even more. What exactly clients are using? Clients are using only an interface of an ADT. What is an interface? Interface is that thing which only gives you an idea of what exactly ADT is. Correct? The interface hides the implementation of an ADT. Correct? The implementation of an ADT is known only to those who develop that ADT. Other clients or other users only have the access of the implementation through interface. They ask something to interface performs implementation and returns the data to the client. So it acts as a shield which prevents implementation to be shown to clients directly, because implementation is manufacturer's responsibility. He can change, edit, modify or update the implementation at any time. The clients are not at all concerned how implementation is done. Clients simply need to use the interface for their further processing. This is what an exact idea of ADT is. Correct? Now let us go further and let us see how your ADT can be implemented as an example. Let us just see what exactly rational numbers are. I don't need to tell you that rational numbers are those numbers who are of the form a by b, or which can be expressed as an example by the form 5 by 7. So 5 by 7 is a fraction or a rational number where 5 is supposed to be a numerator of a fraction, 5 is supposed to be the numerator of rational number, and 7 is supposed to be the denominator of rational number. Correct? So there is no data type present in basic C which will work with rational numbers. Is it not? Now if I am working with rational numbers, then what exactly I need to do? For creating a new data type to work with rational numbers, I need to provide three things. First, nature of data. Second, the range of data which it supports. And third, permissible operation to work on natural numbers. Now why do I need to give permissible operation, you may ask? See, addition of two integers is a different thing, and addition of two rational numbers is a different thing. What if I ask you to add two rational numbers? Let us simply say, what if I ask you to add 5 by 7 plus 11 by 2? How will you add them? First, 5 plus 11 divided by 7 plus 2, that is not possible. Correct? So addition of two rational number is something different than that of addition of two integers. How it is different? You take numerator of first multiplied by denominator of second. You add the multiplication of numerator of second with denominator of first, and this complete operation gives you the numerator of resultant. Is it not? For resultant's denominator, you multiply what? Denominator of first multiplied by denominator of second. So this gives you numerator of resultant and denominator of resultant, correct? So if I want to add 5 by 7 plus 11 by 2, what I will do? 5 multiplied by 2 plus 11 multiplied by 7, that will be resultant's numerator. And what will be resultant's denominator? 7 multiplied by 2, that will be my resultant's denominator. So for simple addition process, what did we do? For simple addition process, we multiplied 2 times, added once only for numerator calculation, and multiplied once for calculation of denominator. So you have to give this logic, you have to write this logic as a program for addition of 2 rational numbers. The same logic can be implemented with some changes for subtraction. A different logic for multiplication of 2 rational numbers. A different logic has to be given for a multiplication of 2 rational numbers. For division of 2 rational number, again you have to calculate a reciprocal, you have to change numerator to denominator, denominator to numerator, and then you have to multiply it. So based on that, various different logics are involved for addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, which is not done in integer addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So for real numbers, you have to provide various different methods. Of course, these are only 4 different methods which we are going to focus our discussion on, but rational numbers can be showing up various different methods as well. So you can reduce a rational number, you can, formulate a new rational number out of it, yes or no? So various methods can be generated as per requirement. So that was the reason it is an implementational issue. It is not at all related to user. So a user will be accessing these all implementational issues through an interface. What is the interface, you may ask? The ADT is an interface. What interface we are going to provide? We are going to provide a new data type. Just like integer, float, character, we are going to provide a new data type called rational. How do you declare a variable of integer? You write int a, semicolon. That means a is a variable of type integer. We are going to provide a user a facility to declare rational number r of data type rational. That means user will write something like rational r semicolon. So what will be r? R will be a new data type rational number. And what will be r bifurcated into? R will be bifurcated into a numerator and a denominator. So what is numerator, what is denominator, how they are stored, how they are performed as an operation, user has nothing to do with it. User will simply declare the variable of type rational, call the method, add, subtract, multiply, divide, reduce, whatever they want to call, and they will get the result. The implementation is completely shielded, completely hidden for them, correct? So this way we can implement rational numbers as an ADT. Now for implementation of this way's implementation, or for this implementation of rational number, what exactly we need to do? We simply need to create a rational number first. We have to write a code for it, correct? It is extremely simple. Then we have to give operations. We have to tell that how addition operation is performed, how subtraction operation is performed, how multiplication or division operation is performed. That we have to tell. Then what do we need to do? Then we have to tell them how to print rational number, how to read rational numbers, correct? And if you want, you can give n number of operations, any other application for working on those rational numbers, correct? So implementation of new data type by using an abstract data type or abstract data structures, mind well, here I have written by mistake abstract data structure, it should be abstract data type, correct? So in heading. So that is very simple, that is extremely important, because through ADT we are going to study all various data structures. We are going to provide ADT for all different data structures. I hope you are getting the theoretical aspect of it. The things will get more simpler when we implement these things by using a simple executable C code. See, there is nothing to be afraid of because of this new concept. This new concept is extremely simple if you have understood the theory portion of this first. I am going to the previous slide. If you want, you can pause this thing, you can read this thing again, and then we can provide, or we can go to the next part in which we are going to see the practical implementational aspect of abstract data type.